Aloha Parents and Students, and welcome to Wong Way Driving Academy. My name is Matthew Wong, co-owner and instructor here at the Academy. We're thrilled to have you join us as we guide your family on a path of safe and responsible driving. Our mission is to provide a supportive learning environment that promotes safe driving habits and ensures every student is well prepared to navigate Hawaii's roads. In this orientation, I'll outline key information, policies, and requirements you'll need to know to get the most out of our program. So let's get started on this important journey. Understanding the certification requirements. For teen drivers under the age of 18, Hawaii law requires 2 certifications to be eligible for the road test: classroom certification and behind the wheel certification. If you're over 18, these requirements do not apply, but we highly recommend taking both certifications to enhance your driving skills and knowledge. Let's take a closer look at each certification. Classroom certification. The classroom certification consists of 30 hours of instruction divided into 6 5-hour classes. The classroom curriculum is made up of 14 units covering everything from the rules of the road to safe driving practices. Each unit will include a 10-question quiz, and at the end of the program, students will take a 56-question final exam. Behind the wheel certification. The behind the wheel certification consists of 2 parts: behind the wheel training and additional driving practice. Let's go over these in detail. Part 1, 6 hours of behind the wheel training. This training is divided into 4 1.5-hour sessions with one of our certified instructors. These sessions focus on developing practical driving skills essential for the road test and safe driving in general. Part 2, 50 hours of additional driving practice. In addition to the 6 hours of behind the wheel training, students must complete 50 additional driving hours with a licensed driver over the age of 21. The 50 hours should be broken down into 40 hours during the day, 10 hours at night. Logging hours. You can record these hours in any manner that suits you, whether that's on a piece of paper, using a mobile app, or a spreadsheet. For your convenience, we provided a downloadable 50-hour driving log spreadsheet on our website at www.wongwaydriving.com/student. Note for parents and guardians. We believe that parent and guardian involvement is crucial in building a safe and confident driver. While our 6 hours of behind the wheel instruction provide the foundation, they are not enough to ensure success on the road test. That's where your support comes in. We encourage you to practice with your student between lessons. Keep in mind that driving to the store or running errands can be good practice. However, it is also essential to focus on specific skills learned during the previous lesson to reinforce what was covered by their instructor. Once your student has completed the 50 additional driving hours, parents and guardians will need to do the following. 1. Print the 50-hour practice form affidavit, which can be found on our website at www.wongwaydriving.com/student. 2. Sign the affidavit in front of a notary public. You can usually complete this step for free at your local bank. We recommend calling ahead to schedule your notary visit. And 3. Coordinate with your behind the wheel instructor to exchange the signed and notarized affidavit for the classroom and behind the wheel certificate. Wong Way Driving Academy policies and procedures. Now let's go over our policy and procedures, which helps us maintain a positive and effective learning environment here at Wong Way Driving Academy. By adhering to these guidelines, we can ensure that every student gets the most out of their driving education experience. Our certification requirements are based on 3 key areas. 1. Attendance. Attending every class and behind the wheel session is mandatory. 2. Attention. Staying focused during the lesson and actively participating in class activities. 3. Participation. Engaging in discussions, asking questions, and being proactive in your learning. By committing to these principles, you'll be well prepared to pass the course and confidently take on the road ahead. Now let's go over the policies and procedures for both the classroom and behind the wheel certification. Classroom certification. 1. Attendance. Attending every class is mandatory. If you miss a class, you'll need to make it up in the next session, which may not be available for another 2 to 3 months. This could delay your eligibility to take the road test, as we cannot issue your certification until all classes are completed. If you know you'll miss a class, please inform your instructor as soon as possible so we can note it in our records. 2. Classroom etiquette. Chewing gum is not allowed in class to maintain a clean and professional learning environment. 3. Taking notes. We encourage students to take their own notes during class to reinforce what they've learned. This helps build autonomy, attentiveness, and active participation, which are essential skills for mastering driving concepts. 4. Assessments. Smartphone use. Phones may only be used during unit tests. If a student becomes too distracted by their phone during class, we reserve the right to ask them to leave and make up the class in the next available session. Closed note policy. All assessments are closed note, so active focus during class is critical for understanding and retaining the material. Behind the wheel certification. 1. Valid Hawaii Learner's Permit required. You must bring your physical valid Hawaii Learner's Permit to each behind the wheel lesson. If you do not have your permit with you, the lesson will be canceled and you'll be sent home. 2. Starting your behind the wheel training. Behind the wheel instruction will begin after the classroom portion has been completed. We will send you an email the week after your final class with the details of your assigned behind the wheel instructor and instructions on scheduling your lessons. 3. Rescheduling lessons. If you know in advance that you need to reschedule a driving lesson, please inform us as soon as possible. We understand that unexpected events can arise, but last-minute cancellations affect not only you, but also other students who could have taken your slot. 4. Proper footwear for behind-the-wheel lessons. Wear closed-toed shoes during all behind-the-wheel training sessions to ensure proper control over the pedals. No slippers, high heels, or thick-soled shoes are allowed, as they can interfere with your ability to drive safely. Now that we've gone over our policies and procedures, let's now dive into the Graduated Driver's License Program. These laws are designed to keep young drivers safe and ensure they build the necessary skills before hitting the road on their own. Let's go over these details step by step. Section 1. The need for the GDL program. Did you know that the leading cause of death for people aged 16 and 17 is motor vehicle crashes? Young drivers are twice as likely as adults to be involved in fatal accidents. This is due to a combination of immaturity and lack of driving experience. To address these issues, Hawaii implemented the Graduated Driver's Licensing Program on January 9th, 2006, targeting drivers aged 15 and a half through 17. The goal of the GDL program is to allow beginning drivers to develop their skills over time as they gain experience and maturity, and it's working. States that have adopted the GDL program have seen a reduction in crashes, injuries, and fatalities among teen drivers. Section 2. GDL program structure. The program is divided into 3 stages: instructional permit, provisional license, and full driver's license. Let's go through each stage in detail. Instructional permit. Let's begin by understanding the first stage of the Graduated Driver's Licensing Program, the instructional permit. This permit is designed to give young drivers the opportunity to practice their driving skills under the supervision of an experienced adult. However, if you're driving between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., your supervising driver must be a parent or guardian seated in the front passenger seat. All occupants in the vehicle must wear their seatbelts at all times. If there are any children under 4 years old, they must be secured in a child safety seat according to Hawaii state law. The instructional permit is valid for 1 year from the date of issuance. It can be renewed for another 1 year period, and here's what you need to know about renewing. You can renew your permit no sooner than 30 days before the expiration date, and no later than the 90 days after. If you do not renew within 30 days of the expiration, you will have to wait 180 days before becoming eligible to take the road test. So it's important to keep track of your permit's expiration date and ensure that all requirements are met to avoid any delays in obtaining your provisional license. Following these guidelines will help you stay on the right path to becoming a licensed driver. Provisional license. Next, let's discuss the provisional license, an important step for young drivers on their way to full licensure. This license allows you to drive with some restrictions, helping you gain more experience behind the wheel. To be granted a provisional license, you must meet the following criteria. 1. You must be at least 16 years old, but under 18. 2. You must hold an instructional permit for at least 180 days and have no pending violations that could lead to a suspension or revocation of that permit. 3. You must have completed a state-certified driver's education course and possess both classroom and behind-the-wheel certifications. 4. Lastly, you must successfully pass the road test through the Department of Motor Vehicles. And once you have received your provisional license, remember, you must carry it with you while driving, and all vehicle occupants must wear their seatbelts, and children under 4 years old must be properly secured in a child safety seat as per Hawaii state law. As a provisional licensee, there are some important restrictions to keep in mind. You are not allowed to transport more than one passenger under the age of 18, unless you are accompanied by a licensed parent or guardian. However, if the passenger is a household member, this rule does not apply. For example, as a provisional licensee, if you want to take your friends Sarah and Mark, who are both under the age of 18, to the movies, you can only drive one of them. If you wish to take both friends, you'll need to have a licensed parent or guardian in the car with you. On the other hand, if you want to take your friend Sarah and your younger sibling Jake, who is also under 18, you can do so without a licensed parent or guardian present. This is because Jake is a member of your household. This exception permits you to drive your sibling without requiring extra supervision. You should also be aware of the nighttime driving restrictions. You cannot drive between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. unless you are accompanied by a licensed parent or guardian seated next to you. However, there are 2 exceptions to this rule. You may drive during those hours without a parent or guardian only in the following circumstances. You're traveling to or from your place of employment, where having a vehicle is necessary. In this case, you must have a signed statement from your employer containing their name, address, phone number, and verification of work hours. Or you're traveling to or from a school authorized activity, where having a vehicle is also necessary. For this, you will need a signed statement from a parent or guardian containing their name, address, phone number, and verification that driving is necessary for the activity. And remember, even when driving under these exceptions I mentioned above, you cannot transport more than one passenger under the age of 18 without a licensed parent or guardian in the vehicle. Lastly, let's talk about the penalties for violating the provisional license rules and offenses related to driving. For the first violation, your provisional license will be suspended for 3 months. For second or any subsequent violations, it will be revoked for 6 months. And if you're convicted of an offense related to driving, for a first conviction, your provisional license will be suspended or revoked for 6 months. And for second or subsequent convictions, it will be revoked for 1 year. Understanding these requirements and restrictions is crucial for a safe and responsible driving experience. Following the rules will help you progress smoothly towards obtaining your full driver's license. Full driver's license. A provisional licensee can apply to convert their provisional license to a full driver's license at the Department of Motor Vehicles under the following conditions. 1. The provisional license must have been held satisfactorily for 6 months. 2. The applicant must be at least 17 years old and have met all requirements outlined in Chapter 286 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes. 3. There should be no pending violations that could lead to suspension or revocation of the provisional license. Once these eligibility requirements are met, licensees must fill out and submit the appropriate documents at the DMV. Here are a few important notes on your full license. Individuals have until their 19th birthday to convert their provisional license to a full driver's license. If a provisional licensee fails to convert their license by their 19th birthday, they must reapply as a new applicant, starting the licensing process over. And if the expiration date of the provisional driver's license falls on a weekend or a holiday observed by the city and county, the conversion must be completed by the last working day before the expiration date. By adhering to these guidelines, provisional licensees can successfully transition to fully licensed drivers, gaining greater independence on the road. Again, the Graduated Driver's License Program is designed to help you gain the skills and experience needed to become a safe, responsible driver. Make sure you follow the rules and respect the restrictions and always prioritize safety. Now let's go into further detail about your road test. Taking the road test. To be eligible to take your road test, you must meet the following criteria. 1. Active driver's permit. You must hold a valid driver's permit for at least 6 months. 2. Certificates. Ensure you possess your classroom and behind the wheel certificates. Before scheduling your road test, Confirm that both certificates are complete with no empty fields. 3. Timing for certificates. Our program runs for 6 weeks. Certificates can only be issued no sooner than 6 weeks after the start of the classroom portion. Therefore, make sure to schedule your road test after this 6-week period has concluded. Certificates will not be available during this time. Once you've met these requirements, you are ready to register for your road test. How to register. To register for your road test, you can visit www.wongwaydriving.com/student. Scroll down to the Schedule Your Road Test section and then follow the prompts to complete your registration. There are multiple locations where you can take your road test, and you can select your preferred location, date, and time by navigating the county's website. It's not uncommon for the next available test date to be several months away, and if you want to schedule your test sooner, we suggest checking the website daily. Openings may become available if someone cancels their appointment, giving you a chance to book an earlier slot. On the day of the test, ensure you're accompanied by a licensed driver who is 21 years or older. You will also need your vehicle's valid registration, safety check, and insurance, all of which must be up to date and in original physical format. Your examiner will conduct a thorough inspection of your vehicle to ensure it is roadworthy. Make sure the following components are in working order before your test. Passing your road test. Once you've passed your road test, you've officially earned your provisional license. Be sure to take note of the restrictions that apply to provisional licensees and know that you can always come back to this video to review them. Remember, there's still more to learn and experience before becoming a fully licensed driver. And that wraps up our orientation. I want to thank you for your attention and commitment to driving safely. The journey to becoming a responsible driver is not just about passing the test. It's about building lifelong skills that will keep you and others safe on the road. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at wongwaydriving@gmail.com. We're here to support you every step of the way. Looking forward to helping you get on the road and learning the Wong Way. Aloha.